Hello, everyone. My name is Juan Lomeli, and I welcome you to my presentation, Global Trends in Primary School Electricity Access. This presentation was prepared for Data 625 for the University of Maryland Global Campus. The data used in this analysis came from the World Bank Human Capital Project Education Statistics Database and were accessed via Kaggle dataset compiled by Cheyenne Kamal. The dataset covers 153 countries and territories from 1999 to 2020. My research question. What factors influence electricity access in primary schools worldwide, and what future trends can be predicted using historical data? For my first visualization, I examined global trends. As you can see, electricity access remained relatively high from 1999 throughout 2010. However, after 2010, there was a noticeable decline ending at about 78% in 2019. Using Tableau's default forecasting tool, the trend is projected to continue slightly downward, approximately 74% by 2023. This data set shows that while all countries were presented as a whole, we have to continue to data set will cause the decline or could cause the decline. To see the bigger picture, I created a world map to identify which countries had the highest and lowest levels of electricity access from 1999 onward. Europe and Australia had some of the high reported access levels, but as I moved through the years, more countries in South America and Asia uh, and other regions began to show improvement. However, some countries appear to suddenly drop. However, I do not believe these countries actually lost electricity access. Instead, I believe this reflects missing data sets, changes in reporting methods, or the difference in how the information was collected or reached back to the collector. Because of this, I wanted to investigate further. My next visualization is a comparison electricity access across income groups. I narrowed the data to 2009 through 2020 because the lower income and lower middle income groups were not consistently represented before then. This helps explain the decline shown in the first chart. Rather than indicating that the world was losing electricity access, the data set became uh, to include more lower income countries, which naturally lowered the overall average. The income group comparison shows that high countries maintained nearly universal electricity access throughout the period. Upper middle income countries also performed very well on average. Lower middle income countries showed significant improvements over time, and as they were the biggest growers, while low income countries remained much lower than other groups. This demonstrates the strong relationship between economic development and access to educational infrastructure. Forecasting was successfully applied in the overall trending groups, but Tableau was unable to generate uh, forecasts for all the income groups together and regions. Because the data set contained many ones, we had to narrow down to just one to help answer their forecast question. So we went with the low income group, and it shows from 2019 to 2021, it should have increased to about 21%. But due to lack of data, it was hard to actually represent this. So finally, I broke down the data by region. As you can see, Europe and Central Asia consistently maintained some of the highest access levels. South Asia saw one of the largest improvements over the period, while Sub-Saharan Africa remained the region with the lowest access levels. Although progress has been made, these differences highlight that access to electricity in schools remains unequal worldwide. In conclusion, this helped answer my research question by showing several factors influencing the access to primary worldwide. Income levels and geographical location affected the data. High-income countries generally maintain near universal access, while lower, like Sub-Saharan Africa, face greater challenges. The apparent decline in the trend, uh, while many regions have improved over time, significant disparities still exist. And this is where I got all my data from. Thank you for your time.